Welcome back to Echoes of Michiru on the Telescope. I am Alinafe Mlamba, a Malawian journalist. Michiru Mountain stands tall amid the hustle and bustle of urban life in Blantyre, Malawi. But as the city expands, how does this natural haven withstand the pressures of progress? Let's rewind and catch up on our previous episodes.
They know that it is a protected area and they are not supposed to encroach. I would say this is done out of poverty, but that does not justify encroachment. Basically, we can only encourage reforestation.
I thought of taking a shortcut after finishing washing nappies at a river within the mountain. That's when I saw the gun and felt a sharp pain in my leg. I fell down, and that was when people rushed and took me to a nearby hospital in Jirega.
Yes, as a ministry, our responsibility is to ensure that we conserve the environment and even the wildlife in Malawi. That's our mandate when it comes to management of wildlife and even conservation of.
In this episode, we are diving into the clash between urban growth and nature conservation. Joining us today is Thom Khanje from the National Planning Commission to unravel Malawi's development strategy. Well, first of all, as National Planning Commission, how do you describe the situation that is currently at Michiru Mountain?
Looking at the Michiru Mountain and its significance, looking at the biodiversity of the city of Blantyre, but also of the whole country as Malawi. It's one of the most prominent mountains in the city of Blantyre. It adds beauty. It provides an escape for leisure. Kids would go there to just enjoy the wildlife. Environment. There's actually used to be a conservation center where people go and appreciate nature, providing nature education. And so looking at its state, it's quite sad. And it's certainly it's an undoing the environmental sustainability enabler of the Malawi 2063. Those are the kind of natural and unnatural assets we should be protecting dearly. Because even if you look at the Michiru Mountain, if you're flying into Blantyre, that's the one of the most prominent pieces of nature you can appreciate. So when it's green, even if it doesn't start enjoying from the sky, and so it's quite sad, and we hope that solutions will be found to make sure that the mountain is laid rest.
Now, Thom, can you just give us a picture? As NPC, how does urbanization impact the environment in Malawi? Because if we're to look at some of the things that NPC does, also has to do with the environment as well as urbanization. So how does the current situation affect the environment?
Urbanization has been in Malawi, not necessarily in Malawi, but in Africa, has been ill-conceived. It's been looked at negatively. That's why when it was made one of the pillars of the modern state, I think some people were surprised because urbanization has been looked at negatively as a way through which people just rush into the cities, into an informal settlement and life and the like. But the urbanization that we're talking about in the modern is sustainable urbanization. Urbanization that is coming out of economic activity. So that is coming out of sustainable living, protecting environment, proper planning, decent living, and that's the kind of urbanization that is being promoted in the modern society. So the urbanization that is affecting, Michiru Mountain, Salt Mountain, Blantyre Mountain, and other places in the cities is the urbanization that the modern society is against. So urbanization that is in the sustainable urbanization, where we are where we're doing, tourism. All that should make sure that the environment is protected and that we remain environmental sustainable as a country.
Now, this is an issue to do with economic survival against the environment, right?
Yes, that's the justification people give. But tell me, there are so many people who are not, who are also living. They're not in employment. They're doing other things. They're able to survive without, cutting down trees, without resorting to charcoal. So to me, the excuse that people use that for economic survival, to me, it's a lame excuse. There are so many ways of earning a living. Look, you can use the same environment sustainably. For example, beekeeping. Why can't people? And actually, you can make more money through beekeeping than by cutting down trees and the like, and in a sustainable way. So maybe it's just a way of educating our people, showing them that it's possible to survive on the environment without destroying it. But the way we are surviving the environment was after they cut down. Look at the way Michiru Mountain is looking. Now that they have cut down trees, all the trees are finished. Where are they going to cut trees for survival next?
Now, Thom, can you just tell us, as NPC, now that you've acknowledged that these people are in a survival mode, it's a do or die situation. As NPC, what strategies have you put in place to promote sustainable urban development while at the same time preserving natural habitats?
No, I've not admitted that they're in a do or die. They're not in a do or die. They can survive without cutting down the trees. And so many people, the majority of people who are surviving without cutting down the trees. Agriculture, they can go to the timbers and the like. Some things they can do. By the way, there are also people who are producing charcoal legally, and these are you can use the people who are trading to charcoal to promote the distribution of legal charcoal and that. So I don't agree with the notion that these people are in a do or die situation. That's not true. But look, the modern necessity is talking about. Look, if you just look at the data of agriculture, we are saying that we need to prove productivity of agriculture so that our farmers are able to earn a decent living through farming. So productivity is about increasing yields per acre. So currently in Malawi, for example, on average, a farmer will get 20 bags. But the maximum yield potential for maize can go beyond 100. But maybe if you can't go to 100, let's go to 80, 60. If the farmer is able to cultivate to get 80 bags per acre, definitely will not be the same economic. So there are so many ways, better ways of survival, other than cutting down trees, other than burning charcoal. And talking about loan facilities, there's needs now. People can go get a loan from me, buy 2 bags of fertilizer, buy seed, and be able to grow maize, be able to grow vegetables, be able to grow tomato, and live decently, and without looking on your shoulders about when who's watching me. So it's not a survival. To me, it's not a survival mode. I don't think so.
How do you envision the future of urban development in Malawi if we to consider the need for economic growth as well as environmental sustainability?
If you look at it from the Malawi 2063 point of view, then we're talking about cities that are sustainable. Actually, we have already a plan, we call it the Malawi 700 Cities Plan, through which 8 new cities have been conceived and planned, so that you should build them in the next 40 years. So you need to have 8 new cities in this country. But these are still cities that are well planned, as I put as a sort. I told you, cities that are beautiful, cities that are sustainable, cities that are using the environment to enhance their beauty and attractiveness to not just the residents, but also visitors and the like. That's the kind of urbanization that we're looking at. So if you ask me about the picture we're looking at, that's the picture we're looking at. Yesterday, our cities right now maybe the opposite of what they're talking about, but that's why the modern city is there. Before we start looking at the modern city and start implementing it, making sure what is in the vision, we start implementing, so that in the next 4 years we come out of a different country. Malawi will be different. Even our old cities will look different than how they're looking now.
Who is to blame if we to look at this situation at Michiru?
We're all to blame. All of us, the people, the government is to blame, the people are to blame, everybody's to blame. We're just not doing the right things as citizens. Because look, it's easy to point fingers at the government, but what are we as citizens doing in our own right? The government does not plant trees. It is the people that plant trees in their spaces, in their homesteads, in their boundaries of their gardens, in the rivers near to them, around the schools, around the churches and the like, including the mountains. So we are all to
lastly, Thom, what strategies have you put in place as the NPC to employ and to promote the sustainable urban development while at the same time preserving natural habitats?
In terms of, planning is our job. So in terms of plans, we're not short of plans. And as I was saying, there's the Malawi 2063, a well laid out plan. There's the MIP one, the Malawi 2063 Facility Information Plan. We've got the Malawi Secondary Cities Plan. And under the MIP one, there's a whole set of interventions and the enabler of environmental standards that are talking about how we can reverse the environmental degradation that is hitting experience in this country. So we're not short of plans, but what we're short of in this country is implementation. And that implementation is now what all of us have to do. The government should do its part. The private sector should do its part. The NGOs should do their part. Citizens should do their part and the likes. If everybody plays their role, this country will be different. And the environment doesn't take time to reverse it. If you plant trees within 2 years, you have your forest back. So it's the easiest of all the plans we have. It doesn't need a lot of resources. It just is commitment. And that's what we need as a country to start looking at going forward.
Thank you very much, Thom, for making time for the telescope.
Okay, bye. Thank you.
As we wrap up, ponder this. How do we strike a balance between building our cities and preserving our precious natural spaces? Join me next time as we continue our journey through Michiru Mountain, confronting the challenges that lie ahead. I am Alinafe Mlamba, and this is The Telescope.